Hey, it's Mark, RPM Tesla Aftermarket Accessories, lighting. We're talking about lighting today for the Model 3 and the Model Y. Up till now, we've had a lot of lighting options for all of our customers that want to make their trunks brighter, that want to make their lift gates brighter, that want to be able to see in the trunk, that want to see footwell colors instead of the bright white lights. Well, we've got something very exciting today. This is our newest lighting upgrade kit. It may look simple, but this is what you're going to get. This simple bag, a simple remote, and almost invisible LED lighting for your center console. So step over here. These are two of Tesla's center consoles. This is the Gen 1 and this is Gen 2. Gen 1 was in all Model 3s up till 2021, and Gen 1 was also in Model Ys for about 1 year. All cars being built now are built to Gen 2. So our new kit works on both. We'll get into all the installation later, but let's show you what this does. When we picked up our first Model Y in 2017, we couldn't believe how dark it was, just completely dark. There's no lighting overhead, there's nothing to light up the display, to see where your hands are, to reach anything. So we've always wanted lighting upgrades, and this is a great one. It's fun, it's simple, it's black, white, color, anything you want. So let's take a look at it. We've got two of them installed in each of the units here. And again, this is the whole kit. It's self-installing. There's no tools required whatsoever. It works two ways. The first way is it works with this remote control we're going to give you. So this is the remote control. The remote control is infrared, but on your phone, you have Bluetooth. So with Bluetooth, you don't need any type of direct line of sight. So let's take a look at it. Let's open up the glove box and turn it on. So you simply turn it on like this. Okay, now we're going to turn it on with the infrared remote. And this is already installed, which takes about 5 minutes. When you turn it on with the infrared remote, you can turn it on and off. So you don't have to worry about it being on all night. A lot of customers don't like LED lights on in their car when they're out of their car. You can close it, and now the remote doesn't work. So the app is awesome. With the app, we can turn it on and off. We also can, maybe you want to shoot over here. We also can use, it's just a red, blue, green. We have red, green, blue. You can change the intensity. You can make it white if you just want to see a little bit of ambient light in the car without a color. You can make custom colors. You can pick any color you want. My favorite is the royal blue, and that's what I have set to all of my RGB lights in my Model 3. So anyway, there's lots of fun things to it for the kids, for younger people. You can simply choose a pulsating green. You can make it pulsate and go through the rainbow colors like this. You also can make it dance to the music where it listens for your voice. It changes colors. You can make it dynamic, soft, disco. And again, when I stop talking or the music's off, it turns off. It's very, very fun, very cool, and we think everyone's going to love it. Again, red is great, blue is great, and it's so easy to install, you won't believe it. We give you everything you need in the kit. We're going to go over that one next. So again, this is how it looks on the Gen 2, and this is the Gen 1. So if you happen to buy two of these, and we also plan on expanding our line, we're going to make one for the dashboard next. We're going to make it the right length. We're going to make it all self-installing, super simple. And so let's get started and turn this one on. So this one now, we're going to put on red with the on button here, or blue. So on this one, you're going to get the lighting effect wrapped all the way around. So we'd like to show you from the side angle here. Put it on royal blue. So on this one, it's going to go all the way up and around the cell phone holding tray. It fits very snug and tight, which we're going to show you in the car. And on the Gen 2, same thing. It's going to be really, really cool. It's going to light up everything around the cup holders, everything around. It's almost invisible and hard to see. We're going to give you the tool to put it on. And next we want to talk about our other great product, which are the RGB lights. So in your car, in your Model 3, let's walk over here, we've got the same type of lighting options for everybody. So if you open your door and you look down, you see the same thing. Our RGB lights, you can change them to red, blue, and green. It's very, very easy. You get it within 6 inches and you can change the color. So in this car, we're all set to blue. So let's open the door with our scissor doors, and you can see how simple this is. You can choose any of these. Now these rectangular lights pop right in. They pop out with a screwdriver, they snap in, and you can just leave them white if you want. You can make your floors white. So with this new kit, it's really gonna add more beautiful ambient lighting to the center console. See how this one's pitch black? We're gonna make a video after we update this car, just to bring more light in the car, more fun, more options. And again, the RGB lights work in the trunk. You can put them in all your doors. You can put them everywhere. You can put them in the back of your car. You can see here, you just point it, change it to any color you want it set to. It's that easy, it's that simple. Or again, you just leave it on white. Okay, so thanks for watching the beginning of this. The next is gonna be installations, and we're gonna talk about everything that's involved and how awesome the app is, and we'll get more into detail as we go. Okay, so now let's check out the controls without using the infrared. Remember, infrared is line of sight, it's not UHF. So the infrared remote works by pointing it and changing things, okay? But with this great app that's in all the app stores for both formats, you can change the color, you can change the brightness, you can see how it's connected to both. We can hook up more of them. It gives its own serial number to each one, and the app is instantaneously connects as soon as the Bluetooth has power. So there's no settings, there's nothing. There's just App Store, turn it on, turn them off, turn them on. Just look at this, how easy and simple this is. It's unbelievable. Now we're gonna make them different lengths. That's one thing I wanted to just mention in the startup video. Okay, so again, now let's talk about the differences between both kits. Now, the Gen 1 is gonna work right out of the bag. We're not even gonna open this. We're gonna send it directly to you. We're not gonna interfere with it because this is a perfect length. This is exactly 2 meters. We're gonna teach you how to hide the wire down inside. No cutting, no splicing, nothing. So that is for the Gen 1. On the Gen 2 version, we have a little shorter length. So this is about 2.5 meters, and we're gonna teach you how to snip off 20 inches, cut it right off, put a cap on it, and then you're gonna lay it down and run it all the way around. Again, we're gonna demonstrate how to use the wedge tool to get it perfect and flush just like this. Now we're gonna turn the lights on to show you what it looks like during the day. Okay, now let's take a look at what this is gonna look like in your car. So when you open your center console, you're still gonna have your tray in here. So if you've got one of our great storage trays, there's no interference, there's no lighting issues, there's no problem. All you're going to do is you're going to use the 12-volt socket here, and you're gonna plug into there. So right now we're using a battery source, but you're simply gonna run this plug into this 12-volt socket. So if it was working and it was functional in a vehicle, you would see about this much in the installation, and that's it. So how are we doing it? So we found a way to show you how to install this where you're not going to see the Bluetooth receiver, you're not going to see the USB-A, and you're not going to see the splicer. All these wires are going to be stored up in the front, out of the way, and just plugged in. So it's going to be a super clean installation. Now take a look at where we've mounted this. Now this material is really amazing. This LED strip material is super, super thin. It fits right down in the groove or a slot between the rails and the vinyl. So we've seen a lot of these over the years, like I mentioned, and they're always hanging out. They're always obnoxious during the day, and they look really, really tacky. That's why we've never carried a product like this. But now we've got a great one. I mean, look at how flush this is. It fits in perfect. We're gonna show you how to open this up, press it right in place, and you're not gonna believe how simple it is to install. You're gonna start on one end, you're gonna end in the other, and we're gonna show you how to hide it. And then all we're gonna have is one wire. Now this wire can be hidden in a couple of ways. You can run it across here and use some felt tape that we're probably gonna include. Then you just put the felt tape down here and you would never see anything. You have all the access to your storage trays in both the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 version. And you're not gonna have any wires anywhere. You're not gonna have any plastic hanging out during the day. Because again, the aluminum rails are really nice and striking, and you don't want to see plastic hanging out. You don't want to see and have anyone notice that it doesn't look normal during the day. You know what I mean? So anyway, that was our goal, and now we've got the right product at the right price, and it comes with a remote, with the app. Everything's super simple. You can never find anything like this at this price level. It's going to be great. We're going to give you a lifetime warranty like all of our products. So let's talk about installation. We'll go through more of the options on the app. There's even on-off timers if you want to use a timer system on it. So it's going to be great. Anyway, thanks again for watching. And now we're going to move on to installation to show everybody how simple this goes on. Okay, so what's in the bag? I like videos like this so you know exactly what you're getting. You're getting one remote, requires a 3032 battery that we're buying a boatload of. We got 500 of them coming in. So we're going to include the battery in there. This is a fidget or a widget or a spacer or just a little piece of plastic that's going to help open up the gap whenever it's tight. And next is the actual LED emitter, Bluetooth receiver, and the USB plug. So this is the heart of it. This is everything that controls it, and it just plugs right into your power source, which is the 12 volt underneath. This is the Bluetooth receiver. This is the infrared. So it's super easy, simple to put in. We're going to start right now on an installation, and we're going to hopefully do both cars. We'll do a Gen 1 and a Gen 2. So we'll divide it all up and tell you what time to start watching at, and make sure you know how to do it when you get yours in the mail. Thanks again for watching. Okay, first step is installing the battery that we're sending you, 2032. Put it like this. This will be good to go. There's no indication on it that's working, but don't worry. And now, like I said, we're going to be installing this in a Gen 2 center console. So the first step is taking 20 inches off of the total length to fit the shorter layout. And so it's very easy to do. We've got our ruler here set up. We're just going to lay it out and trim off 20 inches. Okay, then take the piece, and again, 20 inches. Measure it like this, all the way down to there, and here's your mark, and just snip it right off. Now we're going to put the end cap on, which is going to help light escape. So just simply cut this little piece back, about that far, and trim this off. And now you put the cap on, and we're going to go do the installation. Okay, now we're doing the installation, the Gen 2 LED center console upgrade lighting kit. Now, you're going to need a cigarette lighter or a 12 volt or a 10 volt adapter, depending on what you want to call it. We're going to be selling these on the website, but you can pick them up anywhere. We don't have a really good source. So anyway, let's do the first thing, and let's try it. Before we go to any trouble of installing, we're going to try it. So open up your armrest, remove your tray, if you have one in your center console, and then we will show you the whole process here. So we're going to take the USB-A plug, and we're going to plug it in. Just show you how it works, how it changes colors, everything we showed you in the little intro. So just plug this in. It doesn't require much power at all. So if you're running a radar detector or anything that pulls more amps, you can use the lower amp for this for sure. So plug that right in, and get one that's flush if you don't buy ours. Get one that goes all the way in so it doesn't take up any room. And now it lights up in kind of its demo mode, where it's flashing through all the colors. There's the red, there's the blue, there's the green. This is the plain old white. And now we're going to start with the basic installation. So leave it on, why not? And again, once you get the app working, you can make it brighter or dimmer. So let's get started with the installation. So now what we're going to do is we're going to unroll it, and we're going to start on this end over here. So let's do the basic installation technique. Make sure everyone understands that first. So this end cap has to go under this lip. So you notice there's a flange that hangs down, and we're just simply going to slide that right in to the molding. Now these moldings are held down with snaps. So you can unsnap them if you want, but there's no reason to. So make sure your moldings are on tight. We've noticed that if they're loose, then sometimes it doesn't hold inside. So it has to pinch. The installation is all about pinching it down inside. So push this piece down in there. It just slides right in place. You can see now I'm going to put it underneath, right at the end here. And maybe go a little further. Okay, so this is the start point. And then watch how this installs. You simply hold it in your hand. And we'll put a little air conditioning on here. It's pretty hot. And put it in your hand. And then we're going to install it like this. So you want to hold it tight and just go like this. So my hand is pushing it down and the lip is hanging straight down. It's really easy. You know, so far so good. Sometimes it doesn't always bunch up, but I like to hold it like this because it goes straight. If you hold like this, it pinches. So just hold it up like this in the air and slide it down. Okay, so that's the easiest part. Now we have to make a couple turns. And again, leaving it on helps because then you can see really good. So keep it lit up, keep it on. And when you get up here, we're going to put the little piece inside. So see how it creates a gap? So we want a little gap so it fits in here. So now I'm sliding it all the way over here. And then it's a little bit tight, but if you use this widget or this little tool, it fits in here nice. Now, you want to take the time to get this and get it and push it in really good. So when you get it, it'll pull, it'll stretch. Just push these with your thumbs in nice and tight. And we'll continue like we're on the side rail. And go like this, hold it up high. Look at that, it's really cool. Really looks good, looks nice and original. And it doesn't look like a plastic piece hanging all over your car during the day. That's what I couldn't stand about some of these, as I mentioned. So up high. Now, we're at the corner. And the same thing here at the corner. We need to pry it open, so it's kind of a pry tool. Just put it in like this. This will allow us to make the turn like this. And slide it right inside. And if it doesn't go in, just go back and open the gap up a little bit more. So we're making this turn and we've got the tool in there, and just keep pushing it with your thumb and it goes right in the channel. Okay, come around here, use the same technique, holding it up. And now back here with your thumbs, push that in good. So push these corners in good, because that's what makes this look really natural, the way that the LED light or the fiber optics bounce the frequency around or the light around. So look at how easy this is. Look, anybody can do this. It's just sitting right in there. Sometimes there's a little bit of slack. And we're all the way to the end. Now at the end, this is going to be the most fun part, because you don't want to see this. Some people literally leave these in their car shining like this. And honestly, I think it looks terrible. So we came up with a really easy and simple way to hide this wire. So we're going to show you that now. So you need to close the armrest. I'm probably going to go to a wide angle here. And your back vent here, we're going to just pop it off. So with no tools, you're going to put your hands behind here and pull on your back vent. It's that easy to come off. And all you got to do is loosen it a little bit like this. You don't have to pull it all the way off. But if you do, it comes right out. There's a cable on it. And again, it's very easy to take on and off. It just snaps back in and comes right off. So just loosen it up and you can let it hang down. Now what that's going to do is give us access to hide this wire. So over here, I'm probably going to have to shoot almost like this to show this angle. So what we're going to do here, that's good, is we're going to open it up and put this piece inside. Okay, so now, again, we're going to put this piece in this hole. So there's a cavity here underneath that's outside of this vent area. It's actually up above, so it's totally safe, nothing to worry about. And we're just going to put it just like this. We'll worry about alignment after we put it down inside. So the wire and the fiber optic, which are connected, are going to go just like this. And now let's come back over here. So you're simply going to go like this, and tuck this, just like this. So that's how it's going to look, and then we're going to have this wire coming out. Now this wire, obviously, like we mentioned, has the Bluetooth receiver in it, the infrared receiver in it. So we're just going to place this all inside. And then now this black wire, we're going to put it underneath. So see how I'm putting it back underneath the fiber optic wire. So this fiber optic's running in there. Just like that. Down inside. We're going to close this up. So this is the only area that's going to be visible, and the wire is going to fit like this. So now you want to close the armrest, back up. Okay, now we're going to put the vent back on. And again, all the clips are easy to be seen, and also these are really high up. So when you put the vent on, first of all, put it right in place, and then we'll give it a little tug, but make sure that your piece is pushed in. So you got to push on the sides so everything latches up good. So I'm kind of holding this right here because I want to make sure that this connects correctly. Just give that a little tap. It's all secure. It's not loose, and we're good. Okay, so now everything is here. And why don't we turn off the light real quick to the camera. Okay, so we're all set. We've got our wires here. So again, now we want to demonstrate real quick how, of course, you can change the wires, change the settings, and now the brightness too. So that's on high, as you can see up here, and this is low. It always seems to turn on medium. So that's the brightest, and that's red. Now, of course, we've got a wire here we're showing you in the tray. So let's put our customer's belongings back inside. We'll put the awesome RPM Tesla center tray with the plug, and we're going to unplug it. So we're going to turn the power off, put the tray back in. Now our trays are designed for this exact application, even if you have a full-size socket adapter, because ours have a hole in the tray. So you notice we turn it back on, it stays red. And now the only thing that customers are going to be interested in doing is possibly the wire here. So this wire is the only wire visible, and this can be placed along this edge with a nice piece of felt tape. And then you could go down here, you could go down by the grommet, or you could just let it hang down in the back and put your tray back in. So anyway, when you get your kit, you might find a little piece of felt tape that you can put right over here or right over here. We've got some on order right now. I like to put it down underneath the rubber grommet. So this grommet here is held on from the side rail. But if you really want to make it look super factory, super clean, do that. Put this back. So your tray is here. It's inserted. These are the wires and the receivers for the Bluetooth and for the infrared. Now, as we mentioned earlier, with the app, you don't need to have these visible. You could simply put these down and inside the car. You could literally go right through here, pull the wires through, and not use the tray, not have to put anything into the tray. So let me explain that. So in other words, if you're going to use the app and you're not going to use the remote, plug it in and put the tray in. Everything's inside. Now I can use the remote now to change the colors because I have a direct line for the infrared receiver. But if we're going to use the app, we would just put the tray in, put the wires all down inside, hide them somewhere, and then you're not going to have any issues with seeing this bundle of wires. So anyway, that's the whole point. Just bend that down, put the tray in like this. Again, this wire out of the way, and you're good to go. Now when you close this, you can't change the colors. You can't do anything. But with your phone and with the app, you can do anything you want. So again, it's completely up to you. You might want to go with the receivers visible, so that way if you did want to open and close it and use the remote, but you can do everything on the app plus more. So the app is really cool. So let's try this little setup here where we've got both of these in here, and every time you want to use the remote, you would simply open it up. Because I'm pushing red now, it doesn't change, and now it's red, blue, green, brightness up and down, red. You also have a timer on here. You can set it for a 1 hour timer, it turns off. And of course you can just do this. A lot of people, like we mentioned yesterday, don't like to leave LED lights on in their car. So you can use the app to turn it on and off, or you can just use the remote. And even automatic. Automatic is really cool. Look how it goes through the rainbow colors, just kind of like swirling around. And then you've got the different modes, the pulse mode. And if you just want white, you got a nice white light in the car. You got your dome lights, but this really helps brighten it up. So that's it. Thanks again for watching. It's installed, and now we're going to make the same video in a Gen 1 center console. But I know this customer wants red, so we're leaving it on red for him. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. And again, these are great. Okay, now we're going to get started with the fiber optic lighting kit for the Model 3 and the Model Y for the owners that have the Gen 1 center console. Remember, this is Gen 1 with the pop-up trapezoid piece. This is only from 2017 to 2020 Model 3s and early Model Ys. If you have this in your car, watch this. If you don't, watch the first one. Okay, so now we have our remote control, and we have the app installed on our phone, and we have the battery installed. So we'll skip that part. Now we have the wiring harness or the assembly. And again, we've already touched base on what all these components are. Bluetooth receiver, infrared receiver, one's for the Bluetooth phone app, and obviously one is for this remote control. Now, there's two things we want to do really quickly to make this super easy to install. Number one, we want to trim off a little bit of plastic on the bottom. So on the thin tail end, we want to trim this little piece off and put the cap on. So in the bag is a little black cap, and this will help us start off the installation. You'll see more in a minute. We're going to actually be trimming this piece off. Now only about an inch, whatever, it's fine. This is all part of the fiber optic lighting, but we don't need this little piece. And this tail missing is going to help us to get it started. We're going to put the little black cap. We're going to put right on the end of the fiber optic wire. and that's going to allow us to block the light from emitting through and shining out. And it also is going to hold it, so we're going to show you that next. So slide it all the way on. Now that's very easy. And on this side, we want to do the same thing. This piece here is going to be hidden, and we've figured out that it's much easier if you take off the last 5 inches. And again, be really careful because it cuts super easy. Just go right along the edge. We want to cut all this off where we're going to stick it down in the hole. Again, this is for a really clean installation or OEM. Okay, now just tear this piece off. So we just removed this little thin flange piece from the very end. Okay, so now we're going to get started. Now, number 1, when you install this in your car, you first want to check it out, make sure everything's working. So you're going to use your 12-volt socket. If you don't have a 12-volt socket with a splitter or a single, then it'll be an option here. You can order it from us. And so we're going to plug in the USB-A power into this drive, and this should boot up into our boot up sequence or wherever we left it previously, which happens to be blue. So here we are in blue. It's all set up, it's working. Make sure the colors work. So before you spend time installing it, make sure that the green, red, and blue work. That means all the colors in between are going to work. Make sure the off button works, the on button works. Okay, so everything passes the checkpoint. So now we're going to start off with installing it. So we want to lay it down like this. And again, we've installed many of these, so take our word for it. We've got a nice, simple way to do this. So we want to take this piece here, and we're going to start off on the passenger side. So just reach around like I am, and just simply slide it in. Also, I wanted to note this center console, whether or not it's Gen 1 or Gen 2, has our side panels on it, the matching white side panels, the matching white panels, and it won't matter because remember, we're installing this right in between, so it's going to make a simple installation. So we're going to stick this little piece in where we made the triangle, the angle, the 90-degree angle, just like this. Then we're going to put this right in underneath. So gently slide it like this and slide this piece underneath. So again, this is the cap for the end piece. I think we'll put this in at the very end. So right now, we're going to go like this, and we're going to tuck it in, and then we're going to find the final spot for that when we're all done. So right now, we'll just lift it up like this and put it right there. Okay, so here's how this installs. So we got a nice angle there. If you hold it upright like I am with my left hand over here, and then you push with your right hand, watch how this installs. Ready? Here we go. Super easy. It's just gonna go right down into the channel, and again, by having it upright, it folds right in. The material slides right into the slot, and you just go all the way down, all the way down. Then come back here and just make sure you're nice and level and flat. And again, we're going to fix this at the very end. So leave this hanging out, this little piece here, leave this hanging out. We're going to tuck it right underneath there when we get to the very end part. Okay, now we're going up the side and we're going to take a left turn at the top. Same thing works best. Don't try to push it down without leaving it up. If you do, you're going to end up using your squeegee tool more, which is kind of what opens it up. So that puts a little gap in it, so it makes it easier. See how that goes like that? Just put your little squeegee tool in all the way to the top. And then when we get to the top, just keep pushing it and turning it. We're going to go straight across the top. So again, take your little tool Push it in there nice and tight. And if you want, you could push the material back so you get it more of a right angle, or you can slide it underneath more so it's not even visible. Again, this is a completely optional, and we're just pushing it in there to secure it, and then we're going to make the next right turn. So here you can see the same thing. We're going to put the squeegee tool in, and then we're going to come right down the hill. So just stick it right in there and all the way up. And again, make sure you're happy with the way this looks. So you got your finger in there, and now slide this down. Let's see how we're just going to go like this now. Same thing, holding up here and sliding. Slide, slide, slide. This is really, really easy. Watch my finger. Here we go. Slide it all the way down. And we're going to go all the way past the tray opening. So hold it up and slide, up and slide. And now go back and smooth it out. You don't want to have too much tension in here that it's lifting it up, because the shortest distance is a straight line. So if you're pulling this too tight, it won't rest in these recessed areas good. So go like this and just kind of massage it. Make sure everything's in good. And then now we're going to keep on going. And then we're going to end up right in the end. So now, again, we'll try not using this. Hold it up and slide it. Look at that, straight in. And only if it's tight do you use the tool. Okay, so now we're at the end. And now we're going to show you the only part where you got to take something apart. So we're going to get in to the back seat with the camera and show you how to hide this. With this panel popped out, I have a little more flexibility in this piece. So pull this piece to the left, and the wire is still looped here. And then we're going to place this right down and push it inside. And when you get it right where you want it, which means that this cutoff piece is right there, you're going to hold it up like that. You're going to lock the panel back in and snap it together. And again, we're going to push this piece back in the slot. So you might need your squeegee tool. Slide it right in. All the way down. Okay. So this is looking great now. Nice and consistent. And so now we're going to push this down one more time and make this turn and close it up. Okay? So close the armrest, and now you can see we've got it like this, and we've got this side like this. So if we shoot from a wide angle up here, we're holding this piece, and then we're going to put our vent cover back on. So just line it up like this. And then, again, I like to put a little pressure on here because there is a clip, and you want it all to connect nice and secure. And then ready, just tap it. And we're done. Now let's open it up. Now let's put it on the blue setting, which is my favorite. And there's a blue and there's a royal blue. So you notice the difference. Let's turn the light off for a second. Okay, so let's take a look at it now with the lighting off and how it fits. And again, I've got the red, the green, the blue, all set up working here. Close the armrest, and we'll take a look at up here. We'll turn up the brightness all the way up. And now we'll show you what it looks like when the car isn't so crazy bright. This is not very dark in here at all. So we're going to get the app running now, and we'll show you how it looks. The last thing is the wiring. So we wanted to show you some options on wiring. So let's stop it and turn the light on real quick. Okay, so remember we have the wiring now, and you have some options here. So number one, if you're using a tray, you are best off to just take this black wire and run it across here. Oh, wait a second. Run this wire across here and tuck it down like this. Put your tray inside, and everything is hidden. It's down below. It fits good. Nothing to worry about. If you don't have a tray, you can just simply wrap the wires up and leave them extended further under. Now, if you want to use the remote, remember, you're going to have to open the center tray and change it as you need it. Red, green, blue, and everything in between. If you don't use the remote and you throw it in there and you throw your tray in here, now you can use the app. So with the app, first of all, what I like to do is select blue, and look at my cup holder over here for a second. I like to put the cup holder on blue. This is one of our RGB cup holder lights. Put that on purple, green, light blue, red. Leave on the nice same royal blue. Keep passing it. There. So now everything is blue in the car. The footwells are blue, everything's blue. And it looks great. The backseat lighting kit is all blue. Everything is blue. All right, so we'll darken it up a little bit, turn the screen off. Again, it's still daylight out. We wanted to show you some of the cool functions of the color changing. Red, blue, green, different versions of everything. And again, if you like blue, blue, everything's blue in the car. Now let's say you want to just leave the white on. Just leave it on white. White looks great. Now again, it's not dark, so we'll get a little bit more videos of this when it's dark and all the ambient lights are turned off. But you'll love it. It's great. It gives you a little more brightness. It's kind of like turning the dome light on, but it isn't really on. So, and there's red, blue, green. And again, brightness. Turn the brightness up and down so you really can make it dim or medium or very bright. And again, the other functions, if you haven't watched everything, but we've got the music functions, we've got the talking functions. It's great. It works really nice. Thanks for watching. And now it's kind of doing a strobing effect look. But it looks clean, it looks great, and especially during the day, it doesn't look obnoxious or out of place. Thanks again for watching. It's RPM Tesla. They're in stock now. And now we're going to get some more shots outside to show what it looks like during the day while you're driving around without it even being turned on. Okay, driving around right now to show everybody what it looks like with the awesome LED fiber optic kit installed. And you can see even under all lighting conditions, you don't have anything noticeable or visible. Even when I back up here in the shade, it looks great. It really looks nice. And again, let me make sure everything's turned off. So I'm using the remote, pointing it inside here, blue, and off. So now everything is off. And again, this up here, you can get that in a little tighter up there. So again, I think it looks good when that's not really visible. It's more like a side lighting top kit, because I think the lighting looks good on the top. And again, play around with the app, play around with the remote, try the music modes, the automatic modes, the preset modes. It's just a lot of fun and more convenient in the car. It's just not so dark. Again, I like to drive and keep the display pretty dark so I can see really good at night. So when you're in dark mode, and this is down dark, and everything's dark, your visibility increases so you can see better. This will be real nice to have some real faint ambient lighting. Or when you want to have a lot of music and have a lot of fun, you have the options of that too. So be careful when driving, pay attention, and thanks again, RPM Tesla, aftermarket accessories. Can you see it?